When I was 9 years old, I lived with my parents in a small apartment complex in the north of Oaxaca. Since we started living there, I started to constantly get sick. Having the flu was a pretty common thing in me, but once the remedy did more damage than the sickness itself. It was a cold night around 8 or 9 p.m., and we were at home, and I started to feel exhausted and ill. I told my mom, and she touched my forehead. She told me that I was starting to have a fever. So she grabbed the thermometer and she checked my temperature. I was above 38.5 Celsius degrees. She stormed out of the room and started to damp some towels. When she came back, she put those towels in my forehead, in my chest, and in my belly. Unfortunately, that didn't work, and my body was just as warm as before. She knew that this time the towels were not going to be enough, so she took me to the car and we got to a doctor near the house. The doctor gave my mom a strong antipyretic, and my mom gave me one pill, as the doctor said. We returned back home, we relaxed and fell asleep, and I was feeling a lot better. The next day, I took two more pills along the day, but 2 hours after I took the second one, I started to feel that the left side of my cheek was pulling my mouth back. It started as a gentle twitch, but minutes after that, I looked myself in the mirror and I saw that half my face was completely paralyzed, the left side specifically. So I was frightened. I ran to my parents' room, and when they saw me, they got scared too. We went to a hospital, and the nurses and doctors there started to prepare me to a lot of studies, and they put me in patient clothes. I had a venoclysis and started to scan my brain. The doctor's biggest concern was that I was having meningitis or another neurological problem. Fortunately, that wasn't the case, and they discarded that. They told us that I was experiencing an extrapyramidal syndrome due to an overdose of the antipyretic. Due to my weight and age, I only needed half the pill, but the doctor that we saw told my mom that I needed the whole pill. So I stayed in the hospital that night, and the next morning we all got back home. After that, we all learned that you could only trust in a specialist. General doctors tend to don't really know all of the things and make some mistakes that could cost your life.